Well, hello and welcome to another Two Wise Birds. I'm Sue Boynton, independent Dento legal consultant.
And I'm Jane Laleen, international business coach and trainer.
Excellent. And it's lovely to be back with you again. It's been a
I
little
know.
while. So, Jane, what have you been doing since we last chatted?
Well, I don't know what's happened. So it's such a long while since we've spoken. So I think we must have both been busy. But one of my highlights since we last met is that I've been accredited by the International Coach Federation as a master certified coach. And you might go, so what? What's one of those? So firstly, the coaching is an unregulated business. So dentists are in a really fortunate position that it's a defined term and only dentists can do dentistry. But anybody can do coaching. And the International Coach Federation in an unregulated market is the closest you'll come to the GDC. So I've been accredited as a master certified coach, which is their highest level of coaching. And I'm now the only dentist in the world to hold both a current dental registration and an MCC certification. And in the whole of the UK, where all the coaches in HR companies and all that sort of stuff, there's only 68 of us. So yeah, it's been a really interesting time. What about you?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, wow, I'm really impressed by that. Well done.
Thank
What
you.
did that involve? That must have taken such a long time and such a lot of effort. It's not something that's easy to get, is it?
No, it's taken me 15 years. So I was determined to get it. I had to do a minimum of 2,500 hours of one-to-one coaching. There was a specific level of coach training. So I had to do a minimum of 250 hours of intense coach training. I had to work with a mentor and a supervisor, and I've had to do lots of exams, written exams. So it was pretty full on.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. And Jane, I'm really proud of you. So thank you for doing that.
No, well, thank you. Yeah.
And thank you for telling us about it as well. And later on, I'm going to ask you what doors it's opening for you as well, because it sounds so interesting. My news is somewhat different from yours because, of course, Jane, I'm older than you. I've got to the stage where I'm retiring from my Dento legal work.
Wow.
I've always planned to retire. And of course, it gets to the stage where you've got to renew your GDC registration or not. And this year for me, it's a not. Wow. So I'll be stepping back from all my Dento legal stuff, stepping back from all the remediation stuff that I do for people as well. I'll still be doing the career development that I do, and I'll be doing that for the next year or so. But yeah, I'm really quite excited. It's a new phase of my life.
Yeah. And what a really amazing time to do that, because I think that, it's just freedom. It's a period of change, isn't it? And how exciting, because career transitions within dentistry, that's really interesting at the moment, what's going on. So yeah, exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So tell me what's changed since you've done this new coaching qualification.
Well, all sorts of things. So the thing about coaching is that it's not industry specific. It's a process, and we trust the process, and it's wonderful. So I don't need to know anything about somebody else's market sector to be able to work with them. So since I've got my MCC, things have been opening up, and I've been working with clients in different professions. And I've been approved to work with an organisation called Better Up Coaching, which is an international coaching organisation. So the likes of Google and AWeber and Mars and some really big clients. So yeah, so that's really exciting.
Wow, it is. And I love the idea of coaching people in different industries as well. I think that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
Doing that already. Yeah. For dentists then, can dentists and people in the dental team still come to you? Do you still have room?
Oh, absolutely. And so the other thing that's also happened is that I've been accredited by the NHS Leadership Academy. And so the Leadership Academy offer anybody, and that's what I really love, because you know how passionate I am about teams. Don't get me wrong, with a Better Up coaching, I love working with the executives and the top level people in these organizations, but the Leadership Academy is offering anybody who works from the NHS. So you can be a cleaner, you can be a porter, you can be a consultant, and you can access coaching. So that's a real joy at the moment.
Oh, wow. I wonder if we should put the link for how people do that underneath this video when we put it out.
Yeah, okay, I'll have to find it. No, I mean, because I've got a completely different link to the one that clients use, but I think you just go.
I'm presuming dentists and dental teams that are contracted within the NHS can access that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, let's share that. You see, that's what's good about these chats. Suddenly there's some new stuff that's coming out that we can help people with as well.
And some of it's free.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is great.
I'm all for sharing stuff that's free for the profession, because in dentistry hardly anybody gives us anything for free. If you just expect more and more.
You know me, I like to do free stuff. So I do my free call Fridays, and I really like doing so. Much of the stuff I'm doing for the Leadership Academy, the clients aren't paying. And I think that's great, because to discover what coaching is all about is just wonderful. And what I know that many people don't know, that it's not what they expect it to be. They expect me to get my magic wand out and fix their problems, and it's not. Coaching is much like you do with your career coaching. It's your career coaching is not telling people this is the career you must do.
Absolutely.
What you and I do is that we work in partnership with our clients, and together we discover them by creating that safe space for exploration. And I don't know about you, but I think one of the most powerful things about a coaching conversation is that whether it's an hour or half an hour, our clients have got time in their diary to devote to themselves. And that's probably the only time in their week that they devote to themselves, whether it's their mental state of mind, their career development, whatever.
That's absolutely right. And if it doesn't get in the diary, it doesn't get done. How many times have people said, yes, I'm going to spend half an hour doing this just for myself, and then someone else needs something doing, and they think, oh, no one else will help them, I'll have to give them my time to do that. So you're spot on. It has to be in the diary, and it has to stay in the diary as well.
Absolutely. And I think it's very much like working with a personal trainer. It's that level of accountability, isn't it? So many people may have these workout machines and weights in their lounges, in their garages, or wherever, and they don't use them unless they get a personal trainer. That I joke that a personal trainer's job is to count to 10. Now I think that things like Peloton and stuff like that, it's that accountability that somebody says, I'm going to be here at this time.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I bet you're saying that, Jane, because do you know what? I've just got a new treadmill, and it's one of those things. Mine's iFit, not Peloton, but it's that sort of thing. And yes, it does tell you, and it tells you off if you don't do things when you said you're going to do them as well. And it also shows you things that you can measure. And it's often what gets measured gets done. That's what I like about it.
Absolutely. And I think that measurement is so important, whether you're working with your career clients, measuring what's the progress they're making, or me with my clients. And I think that, so when I'm working with, because I'm working with an awful lot of anxious people at the moment that are panicked, overwhelmed, anxious, and the measurement is much more organic. How do you feel different? What are you able to do at the end of a coaching session that you couldn't do beforehand? What new insights, what are you aware of that you weren't aware of before? So yeah, a little bit different from a Peloton that one might say, what's your heart rate? Kick it up a bit, or your eye, whatever it is. Yeah,
it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? So for dentists then, how can we cheer them up? Because there's so much bad news going around at the moment. I was reading the paper today and I nearly had to stop reading it because I couldn't find any good news stories in it. So what good news have we got? We've got your good news about your Leadership Academy. We've got the good news that people can come to you for coaching. People can come up to your free call as well, can't they? The free call Friday.
Yeah. And I think that really is the good news, Sue, is that even though that you're retiring from the Dento legal staff, the good news that I think we can share with the people that are listening to this is that you and I are here.
Yeah.
That people are not alone, and there are skilled, trained experts, you and I, oh my goodness me, there's going to be a cat's tail in front of the camera. Thinking the second, oh no, she's moved out of the way.
Bit of mewing.
Oh, come on, we've got to see the face now, because otherwise it'll all get edited out.
Nancy.
Little Nancy knew.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the good news, is that you and I are here, and whatever somebody brings to us, you know what, we're there to listen. We're there to support and guide. And I think that's what it's about. Yeah.
It's about looking after each other. It's about looking after colleagues. You're never alone. And I know dentistry feels quite lonely sometimes. And sometimes when I talk to people, it's the first time they've had a confidential talk about whatever it is to somebody who understands. They've never been able to reveal the things before, and I'm sure it's the same with you. So yeah, I think the message is, however tough dentistry gets, there's always people who are there to help.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be really tough. So one of the things that I'm always really aware of, a metaphor that I use time and time again, if you and I were going out for a walk and one of us got a stone in our shoe, we would just say, can I stop? I need to take the stone out. If one of us had a grain of sand in our shoe, we probably wouldn't stop. Mm-hmm. We would be twitching our toes inside, we'd be trying to move it around, and there's something about, oh, it's only a little bit of sand, I'll just carry on. And it's those tiny little bits of sand that result in the blister and the damage. And I think sometimes there is this bravado in dentistry and other professions that there is something about, oh, I'm wearing with pride how tough my life is. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does.
And so they wait until they've broken before they call us. But actually, sometimes, or more often, it would just be so much more useful, so that for your clients, even if somebody has a bad day, and says, and if there's just this like hint, I didn't have a great day today, can I talk to somebody about what's alternative, rather than waiting until they've gone into a complete meltdown and are burnt out? Because certainly for your clients, you can't it was much harder to make sensible, sound decisions when you're recovering from burnout. So that's again another message, which I think is really good news, is that we get it. Come to us early. So in so many ways, oh God, I'm really ranting now, it's just like dentistry. Is we as dentists would much rather our patients came in when they had some slight sensitivity or they had a slightly broken tooth, rather than waiting until they've got an irreversible pulpitis.
I think that's a very good metaphor. That's a very good way of describing it to people. So what we're saying is there's always help out there. There's help from us. There's help from other people as well, from indemnity organisations, from helplines, from professional associations, and even people outside dentistry. There's listening services there. So there's always people available to
Absolutely.
Listen.
And I think that is really useful to know, because much like I say, coaching is not industry specific. So helplines like the Samaritans, they deal with across, they've heard it all. So if somebody is struggling and they are concerned that, oh, I speak to a dentist, I might feel some shame or embarrassment or whatever, well, just ring the Samaritans, just ring somebody, because there's always somebody there to help.
I think that's right.
And you and I might not be there 24 hours a day, but
Yeah.
there are people who are.
Yeah, I think that's right. So I hope that's been really helpful to people. And certainly I've learned something there from what you've been doing with your new international masters as well, Jane. So that's fantastic with that. So Two Wise Birds will be signing off because there'll only be one wise bird at the moment. But you know what? You'll still see us from time to time. And we may just have some general chats eventually and put those out as well. What do you think, Jane?
Yeah, I think we do, because I think, do you know what? We are two wise birds, and you might not be doing medico legal stuff, but you're doing some career stuff, and you've still always got stuff to add and to bring to people's attention, that because I know you're interested in this stuff. I know that one of your little sort of like soapboxes that you like to get onto is non-apologies, and there's a classic one today from Boris Johnson. So I think that there is going to be opportunity. We may not be as regular as we were previously, but yeah, we've got a network, we've got a relationship, so let's carry on.
Oh yeah, you'll still see us from time to time then. So I hope that's helpful to you. We've been the Two Wise Birds. I'm Sue Boynton.
And I'm Jane Laleen.
Yeah, and I couldn't even remember what my designation was then, because I'm not independent dental legal.
No, you're not. You're just Sue Boynton. That's all you are, is Sue Boynton. That's all you need to be.
And that's enough. All you are is enough. So we'll drop some links at the end of the video as well, some useful links for you there. Now we're signing off. Bye now.
Bye now.